And good evening to everyone. Welcome to the session 04 Lost Mine of Phandelver. I'd like to introduce everyone one by one so that we can kind of get to know you, whatever you want to share about yourself, and we'll get to your character when it's time for the character. Right now, just want to know who the players are. And I'll start from the top with Rack Gore.
All right. I'm playing the Minotaur. This will be my second D&D campaign ever, and I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Nice. Your second one ever. What was your first one?
Um, I don't know the name of the module, but I've only played one session of it, so I honestly can't tell you much about it.
Oh, man. All right. Are you familiar with Roll20? Have you used it much?
Yes, I only played the Warhammer 40k RPGs before.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the
Okay.
only experience in role playing.
All right. So, welcome. Hopefully, hopefully we can get you past more than one session this time. Even though it's not going to be the most sexy session tonight, it's just a session 0. But I like to call it a 0.5 because if we don't at least get to roll some dice and do something, then it feels kind of eh. So, so we will start the adventure at least. Pedro, tell us about yourself and your experience at D&D.
Hi, good evening. Nice meeting everyone. My name is Pedro. I'm from Brazil. I'm a doctor from the army currently. This is my first D&D session ever. So I'm still trying to learn the basics, everything I know, which it's not much. I learned from watching Critical Role, which I'm a big fan of. But I'm excited to play, excited to be a part of a campaign, excited to role play and just roll some dice.
All right. Well, welcome. We have a doctorate in the house. That's good. You should be playing a cleric, man. Come on.
I should be playing a cleric.
I
I
mean,
thought
come
about
on, you know?
perhaps for another campaign, maybe or a subclass. I don't know.
All right. Well, welcome. Hopefully, I've done quite a few times introductions for beginners. So, as I'll explain more when we start after everyone introduces themselves about how I like to, especially people who are getting to know the game, this is what the session 0 is all about. People asking questions and understanding how we're going to do these things. So welcome.
Okay.
We continue down to Douglas.
Thank you.
Hello. I'll be Furka, your lizardfolk ranger. I've played a couple games. One's homebrew, the other one was I did Descent into Avernus.
Oh,
And
the whole thing?
Other than that,
The whole thing?
yeah.
Ooh.
I went through the whole thing for it.
Zerio.
So that was probably like the first actual campaign module that I ever played. Other than that, there's like a homebrew that we just play around in. Like the character in that I have is an abomination.
Okay.
But yeah, I've never played online or anything like that. I've actually used Arkenforge, but that's about the only thing that I've ever used.
Well, all right. One of the first things, since you're sharing screen, is in the settings. If you go click on the little gear and you go down, Let's scroll down. Player avatar size. Go to names only. Bam.
Yeah.
Now, go into display name and change it. And hold on. On your character sheet, you will find 2 important items so that I don't have to always be looking at your character sheet that I'd like to know at all times. It is your armor class and your Your passive perception. So let me be the first to give an example. Let me go and change my name. So this is how everyone would do it. It would be AC just like this. Bam. So you go on your character sheet, find your Aylmer class, you put parentheses, AC, the number,
Okay.
and then a space, and then PP. So your passive perception's 14, which is pretty good. Something I need to know at a glance. Your armor class 17, that's pretty good too.
All right.
So now that everyone's seen how that's done, can y'all do that?
So perception. I'm not finding.
So
passive
on
perception.
the left-hand side of your character sheet in D&D Beyond,
Okay.
let me pull it up over here. I had it on another page, but it's too difficult for me to go back and forth, back and forth. You see where it says senses below the saving throws? And
Okay.
there's a box,
Okay.
passive perception. Yours is,
Mm-hmm.
if I can get to it real quick. Let's look at Ulrich. Ulrich has 12 and armor class 19. Take a look at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I built the character wrong. I could. I don't know. Maybe I put the
No,
points
no,
manually.
I
I don't
just
know.
looked.
But maybe we can solve
Yeah,
that.
we'll get to that in a second. But looks good.
Okay.
Okay. So Dex is AC. What's your AC?
AC passive perception is all 14.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And now that's a perfect segue into Dex. Tell us about yourself. And
Okay. And Dex, I'm not very good at introductions.
that's okay.
I've played. I actually played some games before. Actually, I never played a module,
Okay.
but I'm trying now. Um, I don't know if I have a lot more to say.
It's good enough.
Well,
So this is a good kind of beginner's module. I chose it. I'm also doing Dragon Heist with a group as a beginners. Not even though they're not really beginners, but in that group I'm doing kind of a uh, people who live in Colombia want to speak English and play and maybe get better on their English. So we're gonna do that module on that night. And I typically do a lot of homebrew stuff. So I had a Wildmount campaign for you Critical Role fans. I am a Matt Mercer fan. I think he's great. I am not Matt Mercer, in case you know. My voices, I do voices, just because I like to. But it's I'm not a professional voice actor. You know, it would be nice. It wouldn't be a bad job. I don't think I'm good enough though for that. So, I think I actually do a couple things that he does though, things that I like that he does. Um, I will involve. I like a narrative form of play. So there's going to be a lot of times when I ask you to narrate what your character's doing, including when he has maybe a critical hit or a critical fail. I do like to play critical fails. I will occasionally penalize people and have them explain how they hurt themselves. Satine Phoenix allows people to narrate how they damage themselves, and I thought, what a great idea. So you'll find I steal ideas from great dungeon masters and I try to like put them all in the game. So I'm either a big, huge phony and plagiarist, or, you know, no, there's no or. I'm a big, huge phony and plagiarist. I see things I like.
It's actually a great way to learn. So if you're copying the grades, it's not phony. It's learning. It's a process.
Stealing. I'm stealing. It's all a big heist. So that's the introduction to everyone. So now I'll tell you a couple basic things about how we're going to play. Obviously, we're going to learn the how to use the D&D Beyond character sheet for those who aren't that familiar. Has everyone installed the Beyond 20 extension?
I have.
So now's a good
Yes.
time for our good friend Furka to click on well, he's
Yeah,
gonna
I do not have. It's Chrome, ain't it?
every time he clicks off, we'll lose the map. That's not good.
Yes.
Just realized that. Unless, of course, you want to play your character sheet from your cell phone, and then you could sit. Of course, that might not send to Beyond 20. Never mind. Bad idea. Okay.
Doesn't it make if you open another window, it might be
True. He can put it in another window, and then he's only sharing that window. So we'll keep seeing that window even though he switches. Great idea. Thank you. That is
Yeah. I'm used to tabs.
that is inspiration. I will give you inspiration for that. So, which we'll get into if you don't know what inspiration is. So if you click on the chat so that we can see the rolls come in on the chat.
All right.
And each one of you practice a roll or whatever roll you want from your character sheet, just to make sure it's sending to roll 20 as a test.
Okay.
Aurora, you're good. It's terrible when you waste a roll like that. Or it's great. You wasted a 3. 3's not bad to throw away. That's good. All right, let's see Rack Gore. I've never had a Minotaur player character. This is going to be fun. I'm going to mess with that Minotaur. That's going to be, I can't imagine. How tall is your character?
About 8.5 feet though.
Jeez. Okay. We need a halfling in this group so they could stand next to each other. That would be cool. Could just walk right under his legs. All right, missing 2 rolls. A roll from Furka and from Rack Gore. That is kind of a cool name for a Minotaur, too. Rack Gore. And a lizardfolk ranger. That is an interesting choice as well. And Aurora, I don't even know what Aurora is, but we'll get to that. And Ulrich, man,
just a lady.
Just a lady? Looks like a hag. Looks scary.
She's just so old.
She's old. I've never had anyone pick an old person as their character. This is interesting.
You see, it's an adaptation from a character I have from outside D&D. I want to try.
For some reason, my roll on the Beyond isn't going to roll 20.
Let me try to remember.
I just rolled a nat 20.
What was the question?
Was it?
Maybe you have to in the extension. It says send beyond 20 rolls to, and you can choose where to send it.
Okay. I'm not doing too.
What's it say at the bottom?
I've got it set to this campaign.
No, you can put like all VTT tabs, only roll 20 tabs. There's like, oh. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can set it to. You know, I'd never touched that before, actually. I didn't even know. And Forka's having problems?
Yeah, I'm getting the extension, and Google wants to make sure it's me doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I should just be able to go to the character sheet on Beyond and
Yes.
roll from there.
Yes.
All right.
There should be some D20s, red D20s around the sheet
That is
where you
correct.
should be able to.
That is correct. No, it's not the end of the world if we don't get it to work, because there is a game log. Because I can see Ratgor sent a ton of athletics checks and an arcana check. So I do see the rolls.
Okay.
It's a nice feature from D&D Beyond that they put the game log rolls on there.
It's not loading. There we go. Set my VTT to a specific campaign.
I like just choosing, send it to all the VTTs that way. But I don't know what really happens if it like sends it somewhere else that I don't know about. I don't know.
So like, where is that?
At the top, all VTTs. If you choose that option, it's on the bottom of the extension. The last option on the extension says where to send the rolls.
I don't have an extension that should be coming. Should there be one coming down from my toolbar?
Yeah, like on the if you're in Chrome, it's to the right of the address. There's like a little jigsaw puzzle piece. I guess that's what that is. Looks like a jigsaw puzzle piece.
Oh.
I don't see that you have one on there. All right. So, one of the first things that we'll discuss in session 0 is when you're not talking, mute the mic. It's very helpful to everyone that we mute the mic when we're not talking so that we don't get background interference. I will assume that you and Rack will eventually get it to work. If not, we will look at the chat and you can call out your roles. It's not the end of the day. So the next thing is if you notice, I think I put it in your journal. I want to say I put it in the journal. I think I put it. Yes. You should have a safety toolkit in your journal. Yes. Can everyone find that? In Roll20. So the journal is in the little book tab. That journal to the side of the chat.
Yes, I found.
And it should say safety toolkit.
All right.
So this isn't a horror campaign or anything. And I don't know. I'm not going to say this is like PG or rated G content. I don't know. I haven't done anything where people hear me cursing a whole bunch online. I'm not going to say that, I never curse or anything, or say anything crude. I don't think I really say anything crude in any sessions before. But if somehow the narration or whatever's happening during the session bothers anyone, you can use the X card. Has everyone heard of the X card? Anybody? I'm going to assume some people have not heard of the X card. So I
have not.
Adventurers League. So I do D&D Adventurers League stuff. And in D&D Adventurers League, they all use the X card. When I go do Gen Con in September, I'll be doing Gen Con. I'll have a table. I'm going to be doing some Mist Hunters adventures, and which is Ravenloft. It is horror. And so they have, they'll be giving people cards. It's for, someone's got it working. Yes.
Okay,
So let's say something that we're talking about is bothering someone. They can throw out the X card and we can talk about something else. Let's say someone's being rude or someone's saying stuff that bothers someone. They can throw out the X card. You can private message me and tell me, hey, this is bothering me. Or you can just put in the chat to everyone. It doesn't matter. We want to make sure that, I'm very fortunate. I haven't really had any sessions with people that are, I don't know, rude or sexist or any of those types of things. I do have multiple tables with very, very diverse groups. A lot of women play with me in sessions, and I try to make sure that, no one says anything to offend anyone for sure, because it won't be tolerated, to be honest. And so really the X card's more for if someone has a phobia. That's one of the examples it gives. Like if you're afraid of spiders, I don't know, maybe someone has like an extreme fear of spiders, and I'm describing the spiders really, really good, and it really bothers someone. Or maybe someone's got anxiety about whatever, doesn't matter. Anything that you'd feel uncomfortable about, hey, you throw it out there, because we're not here to make people feel uncomfortable. I really don't have time for that. not interested in it. And I just want to help you guys make a great story. That's it. I'm not the storyteller. You guys are the storyteller. This is your adventure. This is your story. I'm just bringing you conflicts. You guys solve them. That's it. You know, it's going to be that simple. Um, Everybody be respectful, not talk over each other. Um, and then, of course, anything that's, I don't know, that goes above and beyond that someone says, really, you know, it just it just won't be tolerated. We don't have time for it. I'm not getting paid, you know. I'm not going to give airtime to those types of things. We're going to be a what's it? I don't know the whole rundown, but we'll say, you know, race, religion, sexual orientation, political views, all of that is outside of this. This is going to be a break from the real world that don't even want to talk about the real world. Just want to play some Dungeons and Dragons. And Furka, you got it working. Good job. And that's that. Does anyone have any questions about the X card or anything like that?
I don't think so. To be honest, I just said you gave some examples. I actually had a problem like that before, and I played a warlock, and well, the GM was too good on the descriptions with my patrons.
With your
So
patron?
they're a little bit, yeah, the dreams were a little bit too much for me.
Okay.
So good to know this exists. I didn't know it.
Now, I haven't actually had anyone throw an X card, but hey, you know, one day it's gonna happen. I'll see. We'll play it from there. Hopefully I handle it correctly. I haven't had the opportunity, which I hope is a good thing. I'm pretty sure it's a good thing. You know, I generally, when I do a first session, the session 0, in reality, typically I've already had Discord calls with everyone in the group just to make sure, you know, you try to get to know the person a little bit. Because, man, you know, I mean, one time I did do a game with where I accidentally put join, anyone can join, and like join now or whatever you call it on Roll20. This was like a long time ago, a couple years ago. And a whole bunch of people invaded the game and they started drawing on the on the background, and they put all kinds of things, you know, they drew stuff and wrote out stuff, and I was like, okay, this session already ended and it hadn't even begun. And I had to quit. And so I learned my lesson to not just let a whole bunch of people come invade your game. Um, so having said that, nothing else to talk about there. We'll start with characters or D&D Beyond. Does anyone I've looked at, and I guess I'll start with Dak real quick. Dak. Rack Gore. Just to make sure that so I'm able to use it because I do have the extension, but so it's not a problem with your character sheet. It's just the extension, I assume, that's given the issue. Armor class 17, I saw. Chainmail, a maul, and a morning star. I'm gonna click on one of your hand axes so that if you want to throw a hand axe, it'll be available to you as an action. So I'll put that on there. This looks good. I'm gonna give you inspiration Do you know what inspiration is?
I did not know this person.
All right. So I like giving inspiration to characters who think outside the box and they do something that I thought, wow, that was a pretty good idea. Whether it works or not, sometimes great ideas don't work or the dice aren't with you. But the inspiration allows you to say, hey, you know what? This is really important what I'm about to do, whatever that is, right? So I'm going to use my inspiration, which means you'll get to roll twice. So it's like rolling with advantage. That way, you fudge a roll and it's too important, it gives you a second chance to unfudge that roll. You use the inspiration. After you use it, you click on it on your character sheet so it goes off. And, hopefully you roll a better second roll. That's all it is. So I've activated it on your character sheet. And do you have any questions about your character or the character sheet?
No, everything looks pretty self-explanatory from my understanding.
Okay. So, as homework, you can do it tonight or whenever before session 1. Come up with a few things for me, and you can put them in like your notes if you want. You can just like add notes. I see you've already wrote a backstory a little bit. I love it. I will definitely use what I can from it. But let's add to that. Give me, and just put it on there. Don't the rest of the people won't know any of this. But one, what will we call it? Something that you would fight for, whatever that is. Like, hey, there's this one thing. Boy, if I see that, I'm gonna fight. Right? That one thing that you would fight for. Put one thing or one flaw about your character and one redeeming factor, something that you think, hey, he likes to pride himself in whatever that one thing is, and then have a flaw like, he likes gambling or something. I don't know, whatever flaw you want to choose. You don't have to roll it on a table. It's your character. It's your person that you're going to give life to. So you just choose your own flaw. These are things that I want to use so that in a session, maybe I'll throw a flaw at you and see if your character can progress or overcome. What does he do? And then lastly, and this is my favorite, what's a secret that you don't want anybody to know about your character? So, any questions?
Nope, makes sense to me.
All right.
Nope.
We will continue to the next one. And that is Ulrich. Ulrich or Ulrich? Pedro, unmute.
I was thinking about Ulrich.
Ulrich,
but,
sounds good.
Ulrich seems interesting as well.
So he has breastplate, he has crossbow, a light crossbow, and a longsword, and a shield. Just know that if you pull out that crossbow, unclick the shield. I mean,
Okay.
it is a light crossbow, I guess, but I'm not going to allow it. Take the shield off, pull out the crossbow. We'll say you need 2 hands. This is a beginner's game. In my advanced games, I'm like hardcore rules. I make everything difficult. You're rolling your hit points. You have 2 hit points? You have 2 hit points. I like a gritty game where you have to roll 2 characters because your first one's going to probably die. And that causes players to say, ooh, I better be careful with what I do here. And it just makes it more gritty. I won't do that to you guys, but it will be a little bit more difficult than standard rules. You'll learn about that as we play. He's got a shield. He's got the lungs. Okay, he looks good. I'm going to give him inspiration. Boom. Do you have any questions?
Nope, nope, nothing at the moment. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course. Yes, I'm hearing you. If you want to
Okay.
create some backstory about your character, feel free to add it on the notes section, and then also add what we talked about, the flaw. We'll call it an ideal, or what makes redeeming factor, what you fight
Mhm.
for. You know, hey, I see a damsel in distress, I'm going to save her. You know, what is that one thing for you? You know, hey, some people might be, I see someone damaging good wine, I'm going to fight. That would be me. You damage good wine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, come on. Especially if it's vintage.
it is. Yes.
And then a secret that you don't want anybody to know about you. And of course, anytime during the week, I'm not traveling anymore. I finally stopped traveling. I've been traveling for weeks and weeks. So I'm available pretty much at any time on Discord. If you say, hey, I'm thinking this idea, what do you think? Feel free to write to me, and we can flesh out all that stuff. I mean, this isn't the longest campaign in the world. You're only going to go to level 5, but let's make it fun. Let's let's let you tell your story of your character, and having these things on your sheet allows me to create. I don't have to go the whole story by the book, because that's boring. I don't. I make my own changes to. I change the NPCs. I change things. Um, so that is Ulrich. He looks good. We will continue going down the list, and we look at Furka.
It is.
You've played multiple times, so I'm assuming you don't really have any questions. You have a longbow. Hand axe is your only weapon?
I think it gives me 2.
So you just don't want to melee. You just want to shoot from afar.
Actually, I'm thinking about maybe like throwing one hand axe and kind of charging at the same time. I'm gonna try and do a melee ranger build.
Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever had a lizardfolk either. That's kind of cool. I'm originally from South Louisiana, so I know a lot of lizardfolk. I don't think anyone in Louisiana and South Louisiana would be watching this. I shouldn't say that, but I'm from there, so I can say it. You will find a voice. I will do a coon-ass voice for some NPC, because it's kind of a voice I can do because I'm from the area. Usually, if you find a turtle, I like to do it. I see he looks good. Do you have any questions? Let me see in your. The same applies. Do you have any questions about that? An ideal, a flaw, a terrible secret, and something that you fight or die for. And you can add that on there. I will check it out. You let me know Discord message in the week. Hey, I did it, and we'll move on. Last, we have Aurora. Aurora has scimitar. Aurora, leather armor, scimitar, and shield. Okay. Aurora spells. Okay. Oh, Aurora already gave herself inspiration. Good job. I forgot to give it to Furka. Furka, if you don't mind, give yourself inspiration.
Actually, I didn't do that, but I saw it was given when I.
Maybe I already did.
Maybe it was.
Good.
Maybe it is automatic. I don't know.
No, that would be really freaky. If it heard me and it put it, that's Facebook type stuff, listening to us all the time. Sorry, Zuckerberg's not watching. He won't be watching this either, so I can say that. Do you have any questions? I had already looked at Yes.
I actually do have one question. It's just that I never used the variant encumbrance rule.
Oh, encumbrance.
And
Yes.
Yeah. And it's
Oh.
very interesting.
Yeah, it says that you're encumbered.
Yes.
Well, one thing, man.
Yeah, me as well. I don't know what that means as well.
Well, one thing, your rations are heavy. It's a lot of rations. Yeah, maybe we can get rid of some rations. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I tested it, and I need to get rid of almost 30 pounds.
Oh, really?
Actually, 39 pounds to not be encumbered anymore. It's a lot.
Yeah, another thing is you have a lot of torches.
I mean, it's feasible.
All those torches, all that rope, the rope. you can make it, I think, if you get rid of some stuff. Heck, the bedroll. You're a druid. Sleep out in the open.
Yeah. Technically, I don't need the rations. I don't need the torches. I don't need the tinder box or the mess kit. None of those things. Let's see if I. And that's the thing. Can I just get rid of things?
Nice. I was reading your backstory. Yeah, just get rid of those things. Now I know in a beginner's game, usually I don't do something like that, but I don't know. I don't like people running around with like a billion things, yet their character has 10 strength. Maybe they should be encumbered. So I like it. It automatically makes you walk slower. It makes you think, hey, maybe I can do without some things.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I just don't like to.
Just that I never seen that fun being used. I'm used to dump strength.
Yeah.
So,
as a matter of fact, love the charisma too. See, I'm not going to do this so much to you guys, but in a normal campaign, I play, if you're not proficient in something, you really can't be doing it. If you've got a negative in something, you don't go around there, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try again. Maybe I'll roll a 20. Dude, you guys terrible at it. just can't do it. It causes people when they make a group, when they form a group, to say, hey, I'm good at this. We need somebody who's good at that. Have that group discussion when you're doing character creation. I didn't do that to you guys though, so don't worry. But just something to think about. I might, if someone says, for example, Aurora wants to intimidate someone and has a -1.
I'm just an old lady.
Yeah, it's not going to be intimidating. Not going to be intimidating. However, if you know how to role play the little old lady bit, I might give you a little lenience and a little bit of help on persuasion. As if I think someone would be persuaded by a little old lady and you do it right, maybe I'll help a little there, even though you have a -1. So I don't play strictly by the numbers. If someone does good role playing, it's good role playing. So, you have any questions? Other questions? That's it?
No, I think that was it.
All right, then we'll move on to the next part, which is pretty much the final part, and we can start playing. Let me get off of here. And that is, okay, so I want people thinking outside the box. Anything that you feel that you can do or you want to try to do, go ahead. I don't mind the group discussing strategy in combat. I do have issues sometimes with and I'm not going to do this to you guys, but I am playing in other ones where I have group initiative because, I try to the whole progression thing, and we're all doing it in 6 seconds, and this guy goes, and that guy goes, and that guy goes, and all this happens in 6 seconds. I have a little issue with that, but I'm not changing any of that for you guys. However, I won't call it metagaming if you guys, like when I say, okay, we're going to roll initiative, right? If you guys want to take 1 or 2 minutes before you start your turns to discuss what everybody's going to do, I do like that because I like group play. And so if you guys can strategize in combat, I won't call it metagaming. Who cares? I think it builds a better teamwork. So I will allow that. I like it. My monsters aren't stupid unless they're stupid, but not totally stupid. I believe that the monsters want to win too. I'm not trying to beat anyone. That's not my job. I won't be trying to beat you, but I will play the monsters as people with their own agenda. Which means also you don't always have to fight, and sometimes it's okay to run away and live to fight another day. So don't think immediately, oh, there's somebody, I'm gonna kill him. I mean, you can, but you also can take other options. NPCs, I love NPCs. You will find NPCs. My NPCs have motives, they have their own agenda. It's up to you guys how you want to play that. You can talk to them, you can learn about them. And once again, they're not going to be one dimensional. I like 3-dimensional NPCs. That's my only chance to play. So NPCs are important to me. Once again, some NPCs are benign, some are helpful, some are hurtful, but they all have their own agendas, and they're not going to be just, a one-dimensional character. I don't think I asked this question, but I'll go down the list real quick because it's something I should have asked from day one. I don't think I did. So I'll start with Rack and say, give me a percentage, role play, combat. What do you like? How much combat? How much role playing?
Say 55 combat, 45 role.
All right. Ulrich.
Well, it's my first time, but maybe 60% role playing, 40% fighting.
Okay. Forka.
I like the idea of doing a little bit more role playing. I've personally never done that. When I did Avernus, it was essentially if it moved, we killed it.
You were in hell.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay. Understood. Of course, well, that's a outside the session conversation. I did season 9 Adventurers League, which is Avernus. It's El Turel going to hell, basically, getting dragged down and then having to go and save some angels, basically. Which it's like like the same Avernus story, a little bit twisted, a little bit different. And Aurora.
Okay, what was the question again?
Your
I
personal
lost.
preference, how much role play, how much combat.
I like the idea of a little more of role play. I'm just not very good at it.
It's okay. That's where we're here for. So before we get into the adventure, anyone have any questions? Any final questions? Concerns or comments?
That as I have that question before, actually, I didn't get it. Can I just get rid of things in my inventory?
Yeah. You can start the session with, you see this guy? He's standing on the road. He's just throwing stuff away. It's actually a great way to start. Then without further ado, what I will have you guys do in this adventure, it begins in a town. So, what I'm going to have you do is you guys tell me, how is it that you know each other? There are no bad ideas. Feel free to open the mic and discuss.
I'm thinking let go and just follow the adventurers. The other party members and just some stuff and then
So to
Yeah,
give you a little
maybe.
background, hold on. I'll give you a little bit of background, just a little, because you're going to need that. You start in the city of Neverwinter, and all of you know a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker. Now, how do you know this dwarf? That's up to each of you. You can, but somehow you guys know this dwarf, or you can say only a couple of you do, and the other ones just want to be hired hands. But you guys start in the city of Neverwinter. So if you want to start in a tavern or anywhere else, feel free. And then now I'll be quiet.
Can I ask what's the name of the dwarf?
The name of the world is Forgotten Realms, but
No, the dwarf.
oh, his name is Gundren Rock Seeker, and I will put it in the. I will put it in the chat, I think.
And what does this dwarf do? He's a miner or
Yes, he is a
fighter.
lost mine. Yes, he is a miner, and he is going to contract you guys to escort a wagon of mining supplies to the town of Phandelver, which is in the name. Lost Mines of Phandelver. I put mines, but it's only one mine. We should get rid of that S on there. I did it on the other one too, but it's actually only the Lost Mine. There's only one mine, and it's lost, and it's in Phandelver, and that's where you guys are going. He's going to pay you to take a wagon to Phandelver, and for the great price of 10 gold piece each. You will take it to Barthen's Provisions in Phandelver, and you have to safely get the wagon there. So, how you guys know each other and how we get started. And what we'll do is, once we discover, or you guys come up with a very simple, hey, this is how we know each other, or I want to be a guy that just hires for the trip, or whatever it is that you decide, and then you'll start the trip to Van Dalen, and that's where I'm going to one by one have each one of you describe what everyone else sees, and that's where you can tell them about, each one of you can tell about your character to everyone. So, are you going to start in the tavern, or are you going to start at some hall of adventurers hall where he came and found because he's friends of somehow one of you and needs you guys to escort the wagon? What do you think? What do you guys think? If we want to everyone
My
take
bad.
turns on that too, you can.
Sure.
Is Neverwinter a big town? It's a village,
No,
or
Neverwinter's pretty good size. It's a city. Van Dalen
yeah?
is a town.
Okay. No, if I can throw this idea here, maybe we're all seeking jobs like mercenaries, and this Gundry knows the innkeeper of the tavern, and which maybe spread the news of this need to accompany this caravan, right? And maybe that's we're starting to know each other.
My backstory has a little bit of dwarves in it, just because the background I got there was very dwarf oriented. So sure, why not? And I developed a little bit. I could say that Aurora had some contact with Gendron already, maybe, and uh, looking for help.
That sounds actually. I remember reading it in your backstory. Sounds like a great idea. So you actually know Gundren for sure because you know a lot of dwarves. We'll just say that in your backstory. All right, that's an easy part. And Furka,
I was probably gonna roll like the bounty hunter idea, being able to hunt people down in and outside of towns, out and through the wilderness. So I'd probably be more of a hired hand.
okay, I could see that. Wanting to go to Fandalin, get out into the wilderness, need to get there. Better to travel with others and get paid to do it, and then you're in the wilderness. That makes sense.
Better survival in numbers.
I definitely see the Minotaur as being a hard hand, no doubt. I guess you'd call that hard muscle. I think his strength is 20. If there could be more, he'd probably have more.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have your tank. that is the guy you want to let him rush up and take
And
absorb.
I rolled my extreme average.
Yeah, no, he's strong. So I guess we're all that's how it is. We'll say Aurora knows Gundren, Forka's looking to get into the wilderness, and you guys just you just kind of mercenaries, hired hands. Hey, they need more people to bring the cart. Let's go, right? So I guess we'll say Gundren approaches Aurora. Would probably be the best way for us to play this then. So Gundren had approached Aurora and asked to find a group to help escort the wagon. He's going to go ahead to Phandalin with a human warrior named Sildar Hallwinter. Kind of names like Avernus. The Hallwinters are in Avernus, too, I believe. Sildar Hallwinter is going to accompany him, and they left on horseback. He had to hurry. He was excited. He didn't say why he was so excited, but he was excited, and he went and ran off to Phandalin with the other human. So, Aurora, you come and to the tavern and speak to the tavern keeper. Okay, we'll call him Bob. I like tavern keepers named Bob. So you come over to Bob. Bob's a little balding. He's got a big bulbous nose, some red cheeks, kind of a beard. It's a little scraggly. He looks like he's got arms like at one time. He could handle himself, but I think he drinks too much of the ale, so he's got a pretty serious beer gut going on. And he tends to wheeze every once in a while when he's talking. And so I guess you approach him and ask him if he knows anyone, I guess. And to help the role play, I'll just say he tells you, hey, those guys over there, they're hired hands. And you see a couple tables, you see, well, I don't know, Rack. When he sees you, I mean, I don't even know how the chair supports you, but when he sees you sitting in this chair, this poor little chair, please describe, what does he see? She see. Sorry. She. Aurora's a she.
So you can see about 8.5 foot tall minotaur, weighing about 300 pounds, has a belt of, say, human hands at the hip. And he's just sitting there drinking mead and eating meat.
And Aurora, when Rex sees you looking his direction, what does he see?
Well, I know the lady, human, very dirty. She's almost never clean, and not very. Well, she's not big. She's not threatening. She's a normal old lady, a little bit weird looking. If you zoom in on the token, you might see. And I don't know. I'm not sure about the cow's crew, but everything else is okay.
So Bob points to him like, hey, that's a good start. And you approach him and say,
um, hello. I heard you. Oh, you are working for hire. Oh, you are looking for job. I can. I'm looking for people to help escort some supplies to a small town. Some days. Um, from here, and I think you would be a very good help. Um, yes, just to direct that point, if the job is offering you 10 gold beef. If anything else, um, sorry, I'm not good
No,
with people.
that's perfect.
I'm character.
That's perfect. And Rack,
Well, so look at you. So stand up. And he has, I believe, 7 intelligence, so to say in broken common, I'll come. Just, I guess, unintentionally tip over the table as he stands up. Begin to follow you.
so
Do you
go ahead. Sorry.
do you know anyone else that is interested, or are you alone here?
Would Fuka's character be sitting at the table?
Furka?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be sitting there.
Well, you were sitting there with your drink. Now your drink has went and flown off the table and onto the floor as Rack got up
No,
and boom, moved the table. Bob just sits there back in the bar and just shaking his head.
well, oh, you a big cow! You owe me another drink.
So you just called him a female in Minotaur. And at that, he'll roll Intimidate. Can I do that?
You want to intimidate him?
Yeah, you just called him a woman. Female cow, pretty much.
and
not,
what?
He's not
And so,
offended by calling him a bovine.
hey, roll it. Why not? This could be, hey, by the way, this is actually the first roll of the campaign. An intimidation because he called the Minotaur a cow. That is definitely the first time I've had an adventure start that way. What did you get?
Wow.
Let me
A
see.
4.
A 4. Oh, wait. Wasn't just a 4. It's a natural 1. The first roll of the campaign is a natural 1. Excellent. So,
Great start.
I would say that in this case, as you bowl over the table and you look at him mad and say, who's a cow or whatever, what are you talking about? Trying to intimidate. Maybe your voice cracked or something, or had a frog in your throat in the moment. Something like that did not come out very intimidating. Meanwhile, Furka, please let everyone know while you're sitting there at the table, kind of getting yourself in trouble, but I guess not too much. Please let them know. What do they see there?
If I remember correctly, I think I'm about 6'2". Black scaled lizard folk, just kind of ratty, hood cloak type normal, just kind of wandering through the woods, steal stuff. Not tearing terribly too much on them, little backpack, whatnot. Black scales, steel gray eyes, no hair or anything, just flat reptilian head.
Definitely never had a table in a tavern with a minotaur sitting with a lizard folk. I mean, this is a lot of firsts tonight. So, so that's what you guys see. As you see, Ulrich, you see all this happening. You're actually at a table to the side. Actually, the mead almost splashes on your leg. It just kind of rolls down the floor a little bit, gets under your. You're wearing boots, I assume.
Yeah, actually, I was kind of like passed out on the table. Maybe I had too much to drink the night before, and as the table fell on the ground, with the milk splashing everywhere, I kind of wake up and like kind of sleepy still, and say, "Hey, I was having a nice dream. What is all this fuss about?" Uh,
Anyone can feel free to respond.
yeah, well,
And say, well, obviously this cow over here is clumsy and knocking over everyone's drinks.
and a pointer like, "It calls you a cow."
He's reaching for his weapon. So I'll separate your head from your shoulders, calling you a cow again.
Now Bob comes from the other side of the bar. All right. Yeah. You need another drink? No weapon play here. You need another drink?
Aye.
All right.
Yeah. Come on, big guy. We can deal with this later.
So, yeah, I'll deal with you later.
We don't need to fight here. We are um. Do you guys know each other
Good question.
since you were sitting together in the same table at least?
A job offer, you say?
Yes, that also. That too.
Okay, okay. And how much food is involved in here? I kind of need to pay for my breakfast now, since you guys ruined everything.
Um, let me see. Um, if if everyone here goes, I think
It's 10 each.
can be it can be split between everyone, 10 gold each.
Okay, okay. 10 gold. I mean, I assume there has to be some risk involved. What kind of job is this?
It's an escort. They're gonna escort supplies
Hmm.
to a town some days from here.
2. 2 days.
Today?
2 days.
Today.
Easy peasy.
Okay, okay. 2 days work of. Yeah, I think 10 gold is a very honest pay. I mean, I don't see no problem with that. Maybe there's a catch. I don't know. Looking at you, you don't seem like the kind of person who plays catches, do you?
Um, the catch here is that possibly you guys will be useful. That's the
Okay,
catch.
that hurt a bit.
By the way, Ulrich, have you described your character?
Oh no, sorry, I haven't. You see a human male, short hair, maybe an unkept beard, some pieces of armor here and there with this kind of fur collar. Maybe his armor, his weapons have seen better days, but he looks like a well-worn fighter. Some scars across his cheek, and a little bit sleepy still. Looks having a nice dream.
Okay. So I believe you have at least 2 that are in. Orca, I don't know if he's said anything other than getting upset
I'm
about
thinking
losing.
I might have to go just because your bovine friend doesn't seem too scary.
All right.
If you say so.
So Bob looks at everyone. I'm not going to bother you with gold at this point. You know, you each probably owe a couple copper pieces, you know, a few copper. We're not going to worry about that right now. When you get into Fandalen, if you make it to Fandalen, you get to you'll pay for things maybe there, but we're not going to have you pay right now. So this is more of a introduction for everyone. And so to expedite your way out of Neverwinter, I will show you a map. I will put you guys on the map. Boom. Hey, where do we go? And if you look at this map, you will see that you are in Neverwinter, which is on the coast. And you're going to take the high road down to Fandalen. The high road to the Tribor Trail, I should say, which will be you're going south, then you're going to eventually take a left on the Tribor Trail, and then take a right to go into Fandalen.
Oh,
Have you
There's
located
number
that? Do you need me to show you where that is? I will ping the map.
me. The map doesn't have any.
Yeah, that's why I'm pinging it. So I'm pinging where Fandalen is.
Okay.
Do you see the ping?
Yeah.
So that is your destination. You follow Aurora, the nice little old lady that has hired you. It seems, right? Does not seem to be an adventurer or anything of the sort, whereas the other 3 definitely look like kind of trouble. three troubles and a little old lady. That's interesting. Maybe that's the name of this group, you know. You see the cart. It's completely covered with a big tarp. It has a mule. Someone's gonna have to drive it, and then the others can either walk along or take turns getting up, to sit with the driver, and take the high road down. Uh, who is driving the cart?
I guess I can do that.
It makes sense. That way you're not having to walk. I definitely see the lizard folk probably wanting to scout around on the outside of the cart. Anyone sit up there with Aurora?
Yeah, I can go with her.
Okay. So, once again, for expediency, I will now place you on another map where you have tokens. Oh. Let there be light. Still not light? Oh, I got to give these tokens the ability to see. That might help. Vision. And while I'm at it, Ulrich is the human, right? No night vision, right? No dark vision.
Right.
Okay. Forka. Does Forka have dark vision?
I don't believe I do.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Rack. Does Rack have dark vision?
No, he does not.
Wow, I thought a Minotaur would. Didn't look it up. Aurora also does not have dark vision.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a human.
All right. Like this, a group that cannot see. Okay. So you guys went a whole day. Boring. On this trail, didn't see Jack. You haven't seen anything. You just traveled. Maybe had some awkward conversations while you're getting to know each other. You go down the road a little bit, you know, decide to take a break. Some people sleep, you really want to get there because you can already feel how you're spending that 10 gold pieces. So you don't really stop much. You take kind of breaks as you sleep. We're not going to role play that. We're going to go straight to the next part, which is during the, let's say, second day at the beginning. You still have a little ways to go, but now that you're on the Tribor Trail, you've went off the main path. You're on this trail, and you've been on it. It's about midday on the trail, and so you come around this bend, as you can see on the map, and in the distance you see two dead horses. About, if you want to get closer, put yourselves about 50 feet away. Let me see. I'll put a measure. Oh, wow, you're there already. How about that? That's pretty good. I couldn't have possibly done that again if I wanted to. So maybe I hadn't did it. As you're 50 feet away, you see these two dead horses blocking the path. The woods get a little bit closer to the sides of the trail as you turn the bend. Aurora, you're the first, since you're driving, you're the first to really notice. Well, I take that back. Aurora, you and Furka are the first ones to notice the two dead horses that appear at a distance to have arrows in them. What do you do?
Well, first of all, stop the mule.
Okay.
Okay. Um.
Seems like it might be an ambush to me.
Maybe yes, maybe no, but I'm just thinking we need to cross it anyway, and we can't do that with the horses blocking.
Horses? What horses?
Oh yeah. There are horses in the middle of the road. They are blocking the way, and they have arrows on them. So
Oh, dead horses. Oh yeah, I can see them now. It's up ahead. Uh, do we see anybody around? Is there anyone there?
Good question. Why don't you roll a perception?
Okay.
The second roll of the night.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, it's not really a custom roll. So on your character sheet, you will see.
Could it work?
So on your character sheet, you will see. I'll let you have the 9. Not that you're excited about the 9, but on your character sheet,
Okay.
You're going to have skills. Do you see the skills? All those skills. Go down to
Yes.
perception and then click on perception. It's a +2. Click on the +2. So the roll I'm giving you is 11. But click on it
Oh,
just to
thank God,
show.
because I just rolled that one.
You can click on it again to show that it's working and you know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Go ahead, click it. Click the perception +2, just to make sure that you got it. Why is it custom roll again? And then he gets an 11. That's spooky. Are you not clicking on the percent? There we go. Never mind. You got it. And you rolled an 11. Wait. Oh, I'm seeing them as custom rolls. I'm seeing them as custom rolls because I was looking in the over here. My bad. Never mind. Okay. So, sorry about that. 11. Wait. Oh, Aurora rolled as well. No, Aurora did not. Okay,
Oh.
there we go.
No,
Sorry.
no. I think I just clicked twice.
All right. So when you look at a distance, you don't see anybody. You see two horses. Clearly, they have arrows, pretty decent sized arrows, protruding from them. But you're still 50 feet away or so. So you look around. You don't see anything. Looks like something's thrown on the ground near the horses. Can't tell what it is from here. Rack, what are you doing since you're not on the wagon?
Does he see the horses?
I would say he sees the horses, but let's roll a perception for you as well. Why not? Get that natural 1 out of your system and
Rolled a 7.
7. Yeah. You see two horses. You don't see anything else. They definitely appear to be blocking the road.
Can I try to roll a perception?
Yes, you can.
Let me see.
That's a good roll. You see there's two horses and something like a little bag. But from 50 feet away, can't really tell what it is. But some type of bag. As well as the two horses and arrows. Heck, a 17. Looks like 3 arrows in one and 2 arrows in the other. How about that? You got the number of arrows. Very perceptive.
Okay. Doesn't seem to. Well. Okay, boys. We need to take the horses out of the road anyway. Just be ready if anything happens.
I could sneak inside the road.
Well, yes, but the wagon has to go and it can't go through the forest.
I'm gonna just start walking down the road towards the horses.
Yeah, I suggest I take my shield and I start walking towards the horses, like trying to mind my surroundings.
Okay.
See if I can get close.
What are you doing?
If I'm not on the car, it's probably just sneaking down the edge of the road, down this backside.
So I'm going to allow you guys now to move what you can actually move and around. We're not in combat or anything. Why would we be in combat? There's nothing here but two horses. But I want you to get accustomed to moving the spaces that you should be moving. So, every square is 5 feet. For those who don't know, I believe most of you have 30 feet walking speed. And Aurora, when you move, you're actually bringing the cart, right? You didn't get down.
Yes.
So you can actually move the cart. I'll let you go 40 feet if you want. Now, are you guys getting in front of the cart, or are you allowing the cart to go first?
I won't move the cart that close.
Stay in front of the code.
I'll be back behind the cart.
Okay.
I'll keep the cart around here.
Does Porka want to roll a perception? Just to have it out there.
All right.
Are you trying to be stealthy as well?
Yes.
Then roll stealth. Okay. Okay. Forka has left the building.
Yeah.
Don't even know where Forka's at. Forka it just rolled the first natural 20 of the campaign, of the adventure, and has suddenly disappeared from view into the trees.
I think. Is this a forest?
That is a forest, which is your
Ooh, favorite terrain.
favorite terrain. So that is perfect. So yes.
Oh,
So that
oh,
let's
great.
say
Now-
that was
now
one
one
movement.
gives-
Now, if y'all want to move again, you can move again. Now, once Rack and Ulrich get to where Rack is, Ulrich, you want to advance?
Yes. Okay.
You definitely notice there is a saddlebag lying next to the two dead horses. In Aurora, you're staying where you're at, or
I'm gonna stay here.
okay? So as you approach Rack and Ulrich, you see the two dead horses. You see a saddlebag lying there. Anything else?
I'm gonna keep an eye on the tree line, see if I can see any movement from both sides of the road.
Using your 11, you don't really see anything. But as you approach, well, what do you know? How about that? You see
Okay.
okay. You see as you approach, four goblins suddenly pop out from the tree line, and as they say in the business, we're going to roll initiative. So before we roll initiative, I do have some scripts, and the first script is combat tracker. So it will kind of start combat, and what you need to do to help me is you will click on your token in Roll20, okay? And then in D&D Beyond, click your initiative. And it will throw the initiative and put you in the sequence. Excellent.
Now, since my plugin is messed up, or should I do it?
You roll it, and I will just I will add you, I guess. Yeah, I'll go grab your token.
Sorry, can you explain me again? How can I put the initiative?
Yeah, so Ulrich, you will click on your token in Roll20.
Okay. Yes.
And then go in D&D Beyond, and there's a box that says Initiative, and just click on it.
Okay.
Roll a 6.
A 6. Excellent.
Wow. You're lucky they also bad.
Okay. So, is that everybody? I've got Ulrich, I've got Rack, I've got Furka, and I've got Aurora, and I have the goblins. And they're not in order. Hold on. There we go. So this goblin, who went first, who should be going first, is going to rush out. He is not going to rush out against the Minotaur. Doesn't look like a good idea. I'm going to attack the human. So, first attack with a scimitar against Ulrich. Ulrich, armor class 19. He's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I'm nimble.
And I roll a 9. 9 is not good. 9 will miss. So the goblin comes at you, surprises you by jumping out of the woods. You're like, ah, goblin. And he bangs against your shield with his scimitar. Aurora, you're over there on the wagon seeing all this happen. You see the goblin jump out, immediately attacking. It looks like an ambush. Someone said that. I don't know where they are, but what do you do?
Oh, um, and let me see here.
Am I whispering my roll?
I don't want to get too close because I fear I don't want to leave the supplies alone because I fear that might be a distraction. They could get behind and steal the, but I also don't want to leave them and not do anything.
Makes sense.
So I think I will get around here. Is good. Is good enough? Yes.
Are you
I'll
still
get
on the
here.
wagon?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not leaving wagon.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw a flame
Okay.
against this goblin here.
All right. He didn't do
Um,
anything to anyone. Don't know why.
Let's see.
Poor goblin.
11.
11.
I think.
Yeah, he's got a shield and he sees that flame coming and he gets behind the shield and it bounces off. Anything else?
Okay, I guess that's it.
That's it. That is
No.
Aurora's turn. Ulrich, you've just been attacked by a goblin. What will you do? Are you muted? You're muted.
Yes, I am. Sorry. Just as I deflected the scimitar with my shield, I'm gonna draw my sword, and with a single movement from an upward cut against this little devil.
Do it.
So, okay.
So, do you know how to do it?
You
No.
think I did?
No. So go on your character sheet, click on the +5 hit.
Oh, okay.
11. Once again, he hits his scimitar off your shield. You pull your sword out, and it hits his shield. Hey, we're at an impasse. A lot of shield hitting. Doesn't sound like anybody really wants to hurt anybody. Everyone's a little scared, I guess. Anything else you want to do?
No, not at the moment.
Sounds good. we will move on to Furka. I don't know where Furka is, but
All right. I was thinking I might come running out of the woods, and can I throw my hand axe at him?
absolutely. Throw your hand axe.
Uh, how do I switch it to?
All you gotta do is click on the hand axe where it says to hit. 15 is the number that is needed. So not only do you throw the hand axe, you embed it into its torso. 4. And if you want to just do the damage and roll 20, you can click on the roll 20 hand axe, and it should give you the damage, I believe. That's how it works. Ooh! Okay. So you guys see Furka come running out of the woods like, hey, where'd he come from? Throws a hand axe, goes through the breast, into his heart, blood spurts. That goblin goes face down into the ground, and he is dead.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right.
So, anything else for Furka? Remember, you are now minus 1 hand axe, as it is.
Yeah, I was like, can I run up and pick it up?
How much movement do you have left?
Half of it.
Then go ahead, but you can't do an action to pick it up. You can, I'll let you
All right.
grab it as a bonus action in your next turn. I'll tell you what,
Okay.
I'll give it to you in a bonus action on this one. You can bonus action, pull the axe out of its breast. All right, now we're going to this goblin. He sees that, you grab his attention, doesn't like it, says something in goblin. Anyone speak goblin? So there will be no goblin cursing tonight. He cursed, but you don't know that. It all sounds, well, everything they say probably somewhat sounds like a curse. He has a bow, and he's shooting at Furka. And with a 21, I believe he's hitting Furka. This is what we call revenge. Ooh. As a matter of fact, it was a good shot. And he catches you right in your breast. And it sinks pretty well. And you take 8 points of damage. Do you guys know how to give damage in D&D Beyond? On the character sheet. Yes? Furka?
Yes.
Okay. Furka, you know how to, right?
Just found out.
You're out?
No, I just found out.
Oh, you just found out. Well, how much do you have left? Just curious. 1, 2? What do you got?
6.
You had 14. Oh, okay. Well, shoot, man. I can give you another arrow. You'll be okay. It's all good. Okay. So that's that goblin's turn. Then this goblin. He's going to go after Rack, and he's going to shoot his bow. And he has an 11. Rack, you're not quite sure what that was, but something goes buzzing by you. Not too close, but you could hear it like whiz by. You get the general direction, and you notice, oh, there's another goblin over there, and he's got a bow. And now it is Rack's turn.
You're gonna see the general direction the arrow came from. Gonna take a few steps back, then dash and charge at this one.
Wow.
And try to do a goring rush.
Wow. Okay. This is like monster tactics. What the heck's going on here? You've turned the tables on me. Let's see it. Guess I'll go over here and get into the log so I can see. Looks like a 9. Is it a 9?
9.
9. Okay. So all of you see Rat kind of back up a little and just take off. Tries to gore the goblin, but the goblin is scared and just kind of jumps behind the shield, and he gored the shield. The shield has a hole in it now. You did damage that shield. I assume that's your turn.
One sec.
First
Yep,
level, I
that
doubt
is-
you have any bonus actions. Now, the goblin that you tried to gore, now he's got the shield. It's kind of messed up. He's going to take a swing at you with his scimitar. And he takes a swing at you. That's what we call a natural 1 for the DM. He takes a swing at you with his scimitar. And actually, through all the fear of being behind the sword, cuts through his own torso and starts almost bleeding out. So Rack, you got kind of through there, and you're not sure, hey, maybe it was my horn that got him? Suddenly, he's got this big cut across the front of his chest. So what might have happened is, as he was swinging, as you were goring, it bounced off his own shield and went back into his body. And he's looking pretty hurt. That is the end of round 1. Aurora, you start round 2 because the one who won initiative is no longer with us. So, Aurora, your turn.
Okay. First, I want to take a look behind me. Doesn't seem to have anything coming, right?
You don't see anything. Using the same roll from earlier. Wasn't a bad roll. I'm not making people do perception like every 6 seconds. Your roll is for a few minutes. What am I perceiving?
Okay.
You don't see
So I'm
anything coming from
gonna-
behind?
I'm gonna drop of the. I'm gonna drop of the cart,
Mm-hmm.
the wagon. Take a couple steps,
Okay.
and I'm gonna throw another flame
At
at the hurt one, because
okay.
more sensible. Ooh,
That hits. If you click on the produce flame, oh, there you go. And that is, as you see, Rack, once again, not really sure if it was the horn or what, man. But suddenly it got a big cut on it, and now it's burnt. I mean, you see it like burst into flames and fall down. I mean, man, you gored the mess out of that dude in Rack's mind. He made him burst into flames, basically. Cut himself and then he
But
burst
damn,
into
I'm
flames.
good.
That's pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, he's dead. Anything else from Aurora? That goblin is
No.
down. All right. Ulrich, it is now your turn.
Okay, so I see my companions doing great on the other side. So I'm gonna go towards this goblin over here.
Okay.
Maybe using the horse as leverage, and I'm gonna jump over the horse and try to do a longsword attack on
Okay.
this goblin over here.
Because you narrated it, I'm going to ask you to roll an acrobatics just to make it more fun. If
Acrobatics.
you make a great roll, I will give you an attack with advantage. If you make a terrible roll, like that 7, I will say that you try to do this heroic thing by jumping off the horse's body, and then you stumble. It's not quite as hard as you think, and you step on a soft part, and it gets you off balance. So now I'm going to make you attack with disadvantage. It's okay. I'm not penalizing you
Fair enough.
too much. But hey,
The way The way disadvantage work is that I click on it twice,
You
or
can
is
do
there
that, or you
anything
can
that I
right
can?
click. You can right click and choose disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Is that both rolls, or that's just one? I see.
I clicked as disadvantage, so it's a 10.
Oh, well, it's not a 10. It looks like you rolled a 1 and a. So what did he actually roll? I don't know.
I rolled a 17 and a 5.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
have a
Oh,
plus
okay,
5
it went
to
right.
hit.
It worked. Okay. Perfect. So, yeah, the 10. So as you clumsily hit him, as you are falling down, weren't able to connect. This is a perfect time for me to explain something to you guys. Something I like to do. People want to use their environment. I love it. If you're going to be in a room and attacking and say, I'm going to go up the stairs and I'm going to jump down on somebody, I will put a difficulty level, 10 or 12 or whatever it is, and you guys exceed it, I will let you attack with advantage. However, if you fail, you can fall prone, things can happen. But thinking outside the box, I will award it with advantage and sometimes with disadvantage. Okay, Forka, your turn.
All right. Would I be able to run up alongside Ulrich here, or is that more of a cliff?
Go ahead. We're not worrying about that right
All right.
here. He's out of the woods, so to speak. And
Yeah.
these maps right here.
Cool.
Okay,
All right.
and you're
So
engaging. He's
we're-
definitely not shooting anyone anymore.
Yep. Let's just hit him with this.
All right.
Oh.
Another 5, is that? And it bounces off his shield that he suddenly somehow grabbed while he dropped his bow.
Yeah.
I just didn't mention that part of the story. Yeah, because he's got a shield, right? But he was shooting.
I can. I was gonna say, I think I can once as a bonus action bite for temporary HP.
Go for it. Bonus action bite. This is getting down and dirty. We're biting, we're goring and biting out here. Oh, 22. You bit him in the neck. Let's see some damage. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's gruesome. And it's warm. And it's in your mouth now. You've got goblin blood. It's running down your mouth. I mean, this looks like Jurassic Park kind of stuff, you know? The Velociraptor came out and bit the goblin in the neck. Dude, you can feel the life leaving him. That is your turn. It is now his turn. Holy crap. I just got bit. And I'm doing disengage. And he is running into the woods. So that is his turn. This goblin sees, what the heck? My buddy's running. This ain't looking so good. Guess what he's doing? He's running. And he's dashing. And you don't really see him because he's in the woods. Rack, your turn.
I'm gonna go and rush this one again, or this different one.
How much can you move?
30. So I'll dash so I can do it as a bonus action after a dash.
You can bonus action dash?
No, he can go as a bonus action after dash.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice.
It's the minotaur thing.
Well, it won't take much. You see him bleeding out by the throat. Let's see what you can do.
20.
20. Yeah, guess what? Well, roll the damage. Let's see.
8 damage.
8 damage? All right. For those of you who are squeamish, you might want to look away. This minotaur just ran up on this poor goblin that was already like, bleeding out from the neck. And he went and put both horns through its body, and one half of his body went one direction and the other half went another direction. Wow. So it's like goblin implosion over here. Nasty. So he had one that kind of burned itself in front of him, and the other one's just split in two. That's nasty. All right. And then the final goblin. Oh, he's dead. He's not in the initiative. Aurora? Are you doing anything? There are
Oh,
no
I can't see
visible
any goblins.
enemies. There is no visible enemies. However, with your perception roll from earlier, you did see one goblin run into the woods, but you can't see them.
Oh, yeah, I can't see. I saw him go, but I can't see him now. I don't know where he is, and I can't follow him. So I will consider it done and go back to the cart.
All right. Ulrich. I'm going to say you don't see any enemies. You kind of heard this sound of flesh rendering from itself to your left and over there. Kind of grabbed your attention a little bit. Other than that, you don't see any enemies at all, nor are you aware of any others.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn my attention to the saddlebag now. See what I can find there.
All right, the saddlebag. So, it's empty. Someone has looted the saddlebag, but you do see a map case that's laying next to it that is open and empty.
Oh, so no map, no items whatsoever.
No. Just an empty saddlebag and a map case that is opened, overturned, and empty as well. That is your turn, Forka.
I'll go with my hunting instincts and say, is there any way I could, say, track that goblin that ran off? See if I could find it?
You most definitely can, but do you really know where he went? I'd say
No.
you didn't see. So
All right.
you'll have to ask.
Weren't there more goblins around?
Anyone?
Did I see the goblin run off since it was next to me?
Yes, you did, because it happened before you ran, right? He ran off first.
Yes.
So, yes, you saw.
Sick. This way. Another point.
All right.
And that is where combat will end. No more combat. And because I want to do not super long sessions, and for a session 0.5, that's a perfect stop. What we will do, well, we will pick it up next week, will be with Forka trying to track, with Rack's help, the goblin to see where they went. And Aurora will, spoiler alert, just so you get a little, next week on Lost Mine of Phandelver. Aurora notices that, oh my gosh, that is Gundar's horse lying there in the road with the good perception roll from earlier. And knowing Gunder's horse. So, Gundren. Why Gunder? Gundren's horse. But that'll be next week. One of the other things that I like to do, instead of doing the Matt Mercer recap, I do love doing recaps, I will allow you guys to take turns saying, hey, what happened during the last session? That way, you guys get to remember it, not me. If you remember it incorrectly, hey, that's part of life, right? I am not going to correct anyone. It's not my job. So, thank you. That's a good start. We were able to get into session 0. We're able to work through some of the mechanics. Rack, I don't know. If we can figure out how to get that extension to work, it'd be great. I don't know. Maybe just Google it or something this week. I really don't know what's going on over there. It could be that you have another extension that's like blocking it or something. So sometimes when I use these extensions, I like click off all my other extensions while I'm playing, It could be that. I don't know, but you can always test it on your own by just going into Roll20 and seeing, hey, did it send my roll? Anyone that needs to talk to me during the week, I am available. I might not always answer immediately, but I will respond. I will answer. Anybody have any questions, closing comments? Are you ready to chase down these goblins and find out what the heck happened? What do you say? I don't know.
Well, I am here to secure the supplies, so I don't know if I'm interested in following the goblins at the moment.
That'll be great for next week, where you role play. Hey, do we want to follow these goblins, or do we want to secure the cart? That's a good one. Furka, anything to say?
Not much. I'm really curious on getting a second taste of goblin blood.
Ooh. Ulrich?
I think it was a great first session. Hope to have better rolls next time. Hope to hit something next time. It was great. Thanks.
And Rack, any closing comments, questions?
He's covered in goblin blood. You can see he's got a little bloodlust going, and he's gonna go after that goblin too.
I just find it very interesting and fun, the image of a very, very tall minotaur going to gore a very, very small goblin. You are basically dragging your head on the ground.
It's a mess is what it is. And I tell you what, I'm kind of excited because this group has some dynamics that once we start getting into the town and the role playing and all, it's going to be really interesting. A lizard folk, a minotaur, a little old lady, and this fighter. And I'll tell you something. You guys killed that first encounter. I've done Lost Mine in Spanish. It's on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And they almost died. They almost TPK'd with these goblins. These goblins were tearing into them. 2 people fell, or maybe 3 people fell. I mean, it was bad. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm on TPK with 4 goblins. but this, you guys killed it. These poor goblins.
Well, it's not always that we have so much tanky parties.
Yeah, this will be interesting. It will definitely be interesting. So, if no one else has any questions or comments, good night. Thank you. And see you next week, where we will be in live on Twitch. If any of you have Twitch, you want to tell someone, hey man, we're going to kick some butt on Twitch. I will send you links during the week and let you know.
The link.
Yes, I'll put it in the announcements on the Discord, and you can look at other stuff. You can look at my YouTube, but it's almost all in Spanish, so you might not want to see it. production value is kind of, but at least you can kind of see what I do. And this will be up on YouTube later tonight, probably. And I'll send you guys a link if y'all want to like see, hey, how did we look? How did it all work out? It'll be up on YouTube.
All right.
Great. Just so that I can program. It's gonna be every week on Monday.
Every week that we all can. I mean, we might take a week off. It's not that long of a campaign. I'm gonna draw it out a little bit because we're gonna do sessions that are like 2.5 hours. We don't want people to get bored. We're gonna start. You do the recap. We're gonna jump straight in. Bam, 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 bam. Get you some role-play encounters. Get you some combat encounters every week. We'll probably do, I don't know, we can discuss that. It is the session 0. We did not discuss that, did we? Do you guys prefer to try to knock it out? But it's almost impossible because there'll probably be at least 1 week where I say, hey, I can't. What if we do like 3 weeks on, 1 week off?
That don't bother me too much. I could do it every week, to be honest.
Same.
Sounds good to me, but
I already have everything programmed.
How about we go every
That's
week
good for
until
you.
I need a break?
that sounds good. That's fair.
I guess the other thing would be,
if I can.
what happens if someone can't show up? What do we do?
Maybe we can reschedule on the weekend, because maybe next Monday I won't be able to. It's I have a mission to attend to, but maybe if we can do it on Sunday or Saturday, if it's okay with you.
You better talk to the other guys.
Okay.
So you have a problem already with
Let's say
the Monday that's coming?
Yeah. It's a last minute mission. I have to. I'm gonna need to be at camp, at a recruitment camp. And I need to spend the night there, and it's in the middle of the woods. I don't see how I can be able to play. But if we can do it on Sunday, it would be great. I know it was not what everyone was signed up for, but
That's up to you, buddies.
okay.
I know that I can't do it this Sunday because I've got another game starting at the same exact time this one starts.
About the only day I'm unavailable is Saturday.
We might have to postpone for next week or run -1 player. Whatever everyone wants to do.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, in regard of this mission, but I'll send it on Discord. Maybe we can talk it over through the weekend.
Okay?
All right.
Okay.
I still think you guys should vote on what you want to do when someone can't play. Or we can decide that after, since it's kind of coming on us now. We already know.
Yeah, I apologize. It was a last minute thing, and I couldn't shake it off. So
Life happens.
I apologize.
We all understand, but we'll just chat offline on the Discord chat. You guys can talk about whatever decision you come up to. It's okay with me, and I will do whatever it is that you guys need me to do. So, without further ado,
Okay.
Good night to everyone. Thank you, and you guys have a great week, huh?
All right. Thank you. Good night. You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks for the
you.
game.
Great game, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye bye.